Here it is with the Chiefs.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, they were as much as a 6.5-point favorite, but the the injury cycle, Chiefs missing a 15 sack guy in there, really, and a little bit of momentum with the Lions. Will they be improved? We thought last year they were improved, and of course everybody remembers when Goff was with the Rams, one of the most exciting regular season games in league history, one of the most incredible games in league history. Still going into Arrowhead Stadium. That much hasn't changed, Mindy.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I think most of it has to do with where these teams, basically left off last season, right? I mean, the Lions went on this huge, giant run there at the end. I mean, it was pretty impressive to see. I think the coaching staff, they kind of look like they're a cohesive unit here right now as well. I mean, they were just so hot that second half of last season. I just still think it's an unknown. Plus, you have to come into some hostile territory here at Arrowhead. I mean, people are, sending questions out saying, is parking free and is the beer free? Well, I don't know if the parking is, but I'm sure the beer will be free flowing here. But yeah, I just really still like the Chiefs here tonight. I don't see, I feel like Goff, you put a little pressure on him. I feel like he's just the one that makes more mistakes. That's just kind of how I feel about it. It's going to be a game of mistakes. All of these games here are going to come down to 3-4 point victory, I think, especially early on here in the season. And this is kind of how I look at it too, right? If I take a look at the history of the number here, the home faves, they're 12-6. In this first 4-week window, -6 open, -6.5 open, when that number has gone to a lower spread there as well. So I'm definitely going to go ahead and take the Chiefs tonight, sitting at the -4.5 here today.
Well, if Mindy's going to come back on the show and we're going to have a great time tonight watching the game, we got to be on the Chiefs. We got to be on the Chiefs together here. Frankie on Detroit. Brent says, give me the Chiefs. Look, I hope Detroit has a better season. I think I'm wrong. Believe me, Ron, when I say it. They've been money on the road, no doubt about it. But these, the way they set up this Super Bowl champion home game thing, look, they're going to have to overcome when I always say like, is there 2 points of value here? Is there 2.5 points of value? No, the restrictions, I think, on Kelsey are a big, big deal. One thing to note, I don't know if anybody's talking about props in the chat here yet, but the Lions were really bad at containing quarterback rushing yards last year. Even some really pedestrian, like Aaron Rodgers had a 40-yard game. So,
okay.
I imagine when you're taking Kelsey out of the equation, whether he participates or not, gets in there. Like I said, when you have instability in your knee, really it may be weaker, but you brace it up, you can drive forward. It's like cutting is tough, right? Especially if we're talking about what sounds like to be borderline, maybe I can stop talking Kelsey. I mean, you're basically feeling like he's, closer to doubtful than questionable.
Sure. So, I'm not sure if he's going to get in, honestly. I'm going to handicap this game based off of him not. How about that?
Okay. Yeah. And how about the departure of Bieniemy, the creativity? Does that go away, or is that part of Reed?
I don't know. I have no idea how that's going to impact things, right? I mean, like, it's another one of those weird unknowns. But yeah, I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. We got nothing on that.
And talking about, boy, these early games, they seem to be. I mean, look, this total's inflated. This is Detroit and Kansas City, so I get it. But Kansas City games at home, Mindy, I don't know if you got it there, you recited it. It's I think it's like 44.5 is like the average score of a game in Kansas. I'm not talking about the total. I'm talking about if you look over the last couple of seasons, they had enough average score of a final game in Arrowhead. It might be 46, but I think it's closer to 44. Somewhere around.
Right. I mean, it's not one of those that historically the Chiefs have blown anyone out, nor, like you said, have really just totally crushed a score. These have come down to defensive plays, especially early on, right? I always
Mhm.
think Mahomes tends to struggle a little bit. I mean, you could probably take a look at him throwing an interception today. It's just kind of been the way it is. But I just don't think we can ask for a better matchup. I think it's going to be great, especially with all the expectations for this Lions team, and especially in that division that they're in.
Mindy gave out those great stats, and Super Bowl champs. Now they've been running this deal like about 20 years, no, 10 years or so with the special Thursday, right? We haven't doing it, but over the last 20 years, Super Bowl champs 11-6-3 ATS in week one. So that is a way they pump it up, especially we've seen it before in Kansas City as well. They've won 7 straight home openers, but just 4-3 against the spread in those 9-2 ATS against NFC. And we're on a Mindy. Let's take Kansas City
All
here. Plenty of
right.
another thing. I mean, it feels like Detroit's a public dog. I don't want a public dog here in this game. I would rather roll on the possibility. I would more apt to lay additional points and take higher plus money tonight with Kansas City than I would want to buy Detroit back up to a touchdown or something. So. Oh, Londo says everyone does like the under. I don't know if I felt that way, but we'll see. Sounds like Mindy and I all have premiums on the total here because we're going to be
That's
rolling.
right.
And Latifah's here, Mindy, to say hello to you.
Hello. Yes, I'm
All right.
and thankful again for you guys reaching out on the Discord. I appreciate that.
Great to have you back.